9th August 2024, Flight 2283 of Linhas, a local airline of Brazil, was seen falling terribly from the sky in different videos. This plane, named AR-72500, was a Brazilian passenger aircraft which was going from Cascavel to Sao Paulo but could not land. Just a few minutes ago, it met with an accident in which 57 passengers and 4 crew members lost their lives. This was not only Brazil's first dangerous crash after 2011, but it is also considered the deadliest in Brazil's aviation history. See video, it can be seen that the plane is falling from the sky like a cut kite in free fall. After the release of the video, a wave of fear has spread among those associated with the aviation industry, because no matter which aircraft it is, it can never fall in free fall. The plane cannot come down by falling. It always comes down by gliding. Then, what was the reason? An investigation has been launched by the authorities regarding this. But what happened a few minutes before the crash, which may be the reason for this accident, once again, happy spectators can be seen in the videos of Zen TV. Linhas is a local airline of Brazil which covers most of the domestic destinations. They have 8 AR-7250 aircrafts, one of which crashed on August 9th. The crashed A-72 has 2 turboprop engines, and the number 72 in its name indicates its seating capacity. It was built in France and Italy by aircraft manufacturer ATR, while Airbus also has a 50% stake in the company, which shares its technology with ATR. The AR-72500 of Flight 2283 was 14 years old, which was bought by Linhas from Indonesia's Pata Air Service in 2022. As I mentioned earlier, this airline mostly operates only on local destinations. According to the flight data record, this is Sao Paulo on 9th August 2024 at 9:06 a.m. It took off from, and its destination was 700 kilometers west to Cascavel. Its trip went perfectly. It landed safely in Cascavel after 2 hours and 11 minutes at 11:01 a.m. The flight was already at its scheduled time. It was late by 10 minutes, and it had to load passengers from Cascavel and then go back to Sao Paulo. That is why, after unloading, the cleaning work was done very quickly, and exactly after 41 minutes, it took off from Cascavel to go back to Sao Paulo. There were a total of 57 passengers and 4 crew members, including the pilot, in the plane. 61-year-old Ambet Decompose was the flight captain. 35-year-old Danilo Santos was the first officer, and 2 female cab crew were also present. What happened from takeoff to crash? What was visible on the radar screen? You can also see all this at 11:58 a.m. local time. Flight 2283 took a left turn as soon as it took off from Cascavel, and at 17,700, the altitude of 17,700 feet was maintained, which is also called cruising altitude. After 23 minutes of takeoff at 12:22, the altitude of 177,000 feet was maintained. If one goes straight from Cascavel to Sao Paulo, there is a huge mountain range in between which has to be avoided. To do this, most planes either fly over the Pacific Ocean in the east or fly over land in the west. Flight 2283 also took a slight left turn to bypass this mountain range and then headed straight for Sao Paulo. According to the radar, the first 1.5 hour passed in a very normal manner, in which the altitude of the plane was around 177,000 feet, and the ground speed was 460 kilometers per hour. At 17 minutes, Flight 2283 took a sharp left turn and headed towards the city of Campinas, from where it had to make an approach and land at Sao Paulo Airport at 12 minutes, when it was present above the population in the south of Campinas, when for the first time its ground speed decreased. It was earlier moving at a speed of 460 kilometers per hour, but suddenly its speed dropped to 159 kilometers per hour. What was the reason for this is not known yet. But in the next minute, at 1 minute and 2 seconds, the pilot maintained his ground speed back to 400 kilometers per hour. Till this time, the pilot had not given any information to ATC. This was the point from where the direction was to be towards Sao Paulo Airport, and we can see in the radar that the pilot started to turn the plane to the right, but just after 13 seconds, at 1, 2, and 15 seconds when he was turning, suddenly the plane went to the right. The ground speed decreased, and along with it, the vertical speed, that is the speed at which the plane goes up or down, started decreasing. It was observed in the radar that the plane flying at 10,000 feet started coming down at a speed of 13,000 feet per minute, and that too at a circular speed. It kept rotating, and during this time its ground speed, i.e., the forward speed reduced from 400 to 100 kilometers per hour. This entire process took only 1 minute and 14 seconds, i.e., in such a short time, the plane fell straight to the ground from 177,000 feet. During this time, the plane was coming down at a speed of 180 feet per second, and the pilot probably did not have enough time to alert the ATC about his situation at the point where the vertical speed of the flight, ET, started decreasing, and at the point where there is a distance of only 1.3 kilometers between the two places where it crashed. What was the real reason behind this sudden fall will be known only after investigation. But according to the information available till now, the area where the crash took place had a height of 12,000 to 21,000 feet. Information about the formation of ice at altitude was given to all the pilots in advance, which is also called sigmatic at meteorology information. If ice starts forming on the wings of the aircraft, it can be very dangerous. This happens because the ice changes the aerodrome of the aircraft, and the air that gives it lift is now reduced. Another problem that occurs due to ice formation is that the wings, ailerons, and elevators, which are the main components of the aircraft, get damaged. There are moving parts of the aircraft, ice gets stuck between them, and they cannot move. That is, despite the input given by the pilot, the plane will not be able to turn right or left. To avoid this, often modern aircrafts have an automatic heating system which applies ice to important parts. It does not allow the ice to freeze. There are some aircraft on which a special chemical is sprayed before the flight so that the ice does not freeze. Different types of de-icing systems are installed in ATR 72500. Its wings are fitted with pneumatic de-icing boots, which are, the snow is removed from the aircraft, and similarly, de-icing systems are installed in its propellers, windshield, and engine. And despite all this, if there is a forecast of snow in advance, then the pilot tries to avoid that altitude or that place, where there is a possibility of ice formation. After the crash, the black box of Flight Lot 283 has been recovered, and it is expected that the real reason of this crash will be revealed in the coming months. But for now, it remains a mystery as to how the plane fell to a height of 177,000 feet. How does the ship go straight down? I hope you all will like and share this video of Zen TV a lot. Thank you very much for your loving comments. See you in the next amazing video.